A treble for Luis Enrique and his players, for the coach in his first season, just as Pep Guardiola delivered in his initial campaign. 60 games, 50 wins. That's how good they are. And to win the Champions League in its 60th staging as European Cup stroke Champions League, and this is how it was all wrapped up. Alan Smith.
Yeah, he did ever so well just to stay on side, didn't he? He knew there was a chance of drifting off, but he saw a goal in it for him. And he seals it with some style. We are looking at one of the best Barcelona sides, certainly, that have ever come out of the Nou Camp.
Well, after an early goal from a midfield player, the front three got going. Morata had equalised, then Messi's shot was parried for Suarez, and Neymar, having had a goal disallowed, got his name on the score sheet in a historical way. The collective strength of Juventus had brought them a long way, but this in the end was a bridge too far. Their wall came down in Berlin. Back-to-back triumphs for the country of Spain. Barcelona have succeeded Real Madrid, and they have certainly succeeded this season. They have beaten Juventus here in Berlin by 3-1.
Barcelona winners in 2006, 2009, 2011, 2015, 4 times in 9 years. Juventus' hearts are broken, and it'll be no consolation that they gave a good account of themselves. Gerard Piqué has spent much of the second half playing almost as a makeshift centre-forward. Looked like he was determined to get in on the goal-scoring act. And the celebrations just beginning will go on for a long time. Every side that Barcelona have beaten in this run have been champions. All 7 of them, not a runner-up in sight. Xavi didn't get on the pitch during the 96 minutes, but he's on there now bidding his farewells. Just in front of us, the Juventus fans sit silently. They can take a bit of comfort from the fact that their team have played a major part in this. And Jimmy Redknapp, I wonder if this evening we've seen not just Barcelona's qualities that we knew about already, but some of their battling qualities as well, because there was a time in that second half when they'd lost control of the game.
They're up against it, Jeff. We all know about their qualities, the way they pass the ball, the way they manipulate it. But what we saw today was how much they want to win. The winners in that team really come to the fore. Mascherano was magnificent second half, as was Piqué. Incredible the amount of times he cleared the ball, and obviously, and even went through a couple of times and tried to score himself. They showed every bit of determination in that team, and that's why they're winners. Incredible footballers, but also desire and determination.
Hey, Jamie Carragher, were you surprised at how hard Juventus made them work, Barca having had total control in the first half?
No, because you know in a final, at some stage, we're not talking about a Mickey Mouse team. You know, 4-time Serie A champions, so you know they've got quality. It's whether they could get enough of the ball, but they did. And when they went 1-1, I didn't say we all fancied Juventus to go on and win the game, but they were looking very strong, very powerful, and you were looking at Barcelona's midfield. It was getting overpowered. Jamie mentioned that, I think, in commentary. Vidal, Pogba then coming into the game, driving forward. But the funny thing about Juventus, they haven't had too much in the game. The best spell was probably in the first 5 or 10 minutes, and that spell they had second half. From those good spells they had, that's when Barcelona got the 2 goals. They got the early goal after that pressure, and that breakaway that they got for the second goal, make it 2-1, come on the back of Juventus' best spells in the game, which were very few to be fair, but credit to Barcelona. I mean, they totally deserved it just on the back of the first half performance.
4th winner's medal for Andres Iniesta. Thierry, what does he give to the team?
I mean, I saw him up close playing with him, but also he changed the game when he played us in 2006. When he came on, he destroyed us. He won that final for them that year, and he's been doing that for a long time. But you saw in the second half, he was one of the few players at the moment where Barcelona was struggling. He wanted that ball. He was trying to drive the team forward, and obviously he's amazing. He win the Champions League 4 times. Sorry, it's just a joke, actually. It is. It's just, when you're looking at it, it's just however you want to look at it. But let's not forget about how well Jordi Alba played. He played really well. The fullbacks played really well today, and he made an important, at one point, save and stop a tackle on Pereira in the box. That was vital. I remember you, Jamie, asking me who was that, and that was him. He was very good. But Iniesta, I mean, what a player, and what a way for Xavi also to leave the club.
It was a really good cup final. You know, Juventus set about Barcelona physically. Vidal, I think, was lucky to stay on the pitch in the first half. Pogba got a booking. But you have to do that against Barcelona. You just can't stand off them and let them play little triangles up and down the pitch.
Oh, so, Graham, you know a bit about doing that, don't you? Circumstances when you did were a bit more hostile, of course.
Just a tad. But I enjoyed that game. I think Juventus must take great credit from that. They didn't roll over, conceding a goal so early in the game. You know, it could have been a very difficult night for Juve. But you know, I've been in Italy, I've played in Italy, and I don't know about you, Thierry, but Italians in football, they do dig deep. You know, they don't roll over. They have a goal. And that Italian team tonight did that. You know, they're playing against a super team in Barcelona, but they didn't roll over, and they got themselves back into it. And on another night, maybe one of those chances at 1-1, if it goes in, it could have been their night tonight. But you have to come back to it. You know, if you examine it in the cold light of day, who had the most chances, who had most of the balls, who had the better chances? It was Barca.
There's the official man of the match, is Andres Iniesta, who we've spoken about already. As far as the Barcelona manager goes, Jimmy Redknapp, I mean, Luis Enrique, well, he may as well quit now, because it can't get any better than this, can it? The treble.
You'd like to have a go, though, wouldn't you? You'd like to have another go next year with the players he's got. I think the one player that, during the build-up, listened to the guys and myself, we rarely spoke about how good Neymar is. The third goal summed him up perfectly. The energy that he gives them on the balance on that left-hand side. Thierry's played out in those wide areas of Barcelona. It's not easy. It's a thankless task at times, but he is a wonderful footballer. Great technically, and he comes up with vital goals. But the manager, I mean, what a feeling. What a feeling. But it must be an absolute dream to manage that team. You turn around, you've got the three of them up front. Suarez, Neymar, Messi. You haven't got to tell them too much. Just go out and play. But I think where they have improved under him, certainly is defensively. Set pieces for and against. He's obviously worked at that. And he's obviously got something about him because he's transformed them. Because last year, I think we all said it, maybe is it the end of tiki-taka? Absolutely not. Well, it's alive and it's thriving, and they are on fire.
I've got a question. Do you think they conceded a goal tonight, Barcelona, by trying to play out from the back? First, Piqué has a chance to clear it, then the goalkeeper has a chance to clear it, and that's where Juventus get the goal from, because they're trying to overplay in their own half, deep in their own half.
But how many goals have they created by playing that way?
I'm going to ask the question, if I can exchange cheers with you for a minute. Do you think they'll try and change that at all?
No, that's the DNA, that's how they play. Jeff's right what he's mentioned. We're looking at the goal kicks. That was the only problem they had all night, was playing off from the back. It started in the first 2 or 3 minutes. Mascherano slips over the ball. The one Graham mentioned wasn't a goal kick, but a similar sort of position where the keepers give the ball to Piqué out wide. But the second goal comes from a goal kick. The goalkeeper chipping it 20-30 yards to his full back. Pogba closes him down. It looks like it's a goal kick no rules would ever take.
No, listen, I've been in that dressing room, and if you don't try to pass the ball from the back, you're not playing.
No, so, is that suicide though? At times,
no, it's
not.
Bit? It's not, because that's not the Barca way. And that is a proper way.
By the way, Juventus do the same.
We talk about usually.
Yeah.
But to answer to your question, I've been in that dressing room, not under Luis Enrique. You have to pass the ball from the back. You concede a goal, you concede 2, you concede 3. You still have to pass the ball from the back, whether you agree with it or not.
Time for the presentation then. Barcelona will receive the trophy first. The officials, of course. Let's rejoin Martin Tyler.
Thank you very much, guys. The Turkish officials probably only had one moment that might have come back to haunt them, the disallowing of Neymar's goal, which would have been a 3-1 a bit earlier than it actually turned out. But the very fact that Neymar, Alan got his reward right with the last kick of this final, I don't think that will get mentioned too much now.
No, I don't think it will. No, he'll feel a lot happier with his lot having scored. on the big stage, as befits the season he's had. Spectacular.
Well, the one Spaniard who did score was playing in the Italian team. Great respect between the two coaches. As I said at the start, both in their first seasons in charge of their respective clubs. I mean, Max Allegri, who was greeted a bit like Rafa Benitez was greeted at Chelsea. He was seen by the Juventus fans as their Milan manager, and not welcome, but he's led them to the league and Coppa Italia double. You have to feel a bit sorry for Juventus because they lost Chiellini. We haven't mentioned at all Cáceres, another defender who could possibly have stepped into the breach, also been ruled out for the rest of the season. They were right on the limit in terms of available defenders. Whether it would have made any difference, well, you can't be so sure.
No, we'll never know. But I mean, many people wouldn't have tipped them, didn't expect them to get as far as they have. To beat Real Madrid in the semi-finals was a magnificent achievement. And what they did tonight, I thought, to keep in the contest, to push Barcelona as hard as they did.
And to be here, they lost their first two away games in the group.
Yeah.
And they only squeaked into the knockout stage. They have lost a fourth final in a row in the Champions League and a sixth in this competition, which is an unwanted landmark, but it shouldn't dilute what they've done in getting this far. And they can leave Berlin with their heads held high.
Of course they can. It's bound to hurt, though, especially to those senior lads like Pirlo and Tevez. Certainly Pirlo's not going to step this way again.
Michel Platini, of course, the Uefa president, who played for Juventus and 30 years ago in very different circumstances scored a winning goal in Belgium in the Heysel Stadium. They were hoping to honour the memory of the families and the memory of those who lost their lives in that awful hooliganism era. It was a dreadful, dreadful night. And they won on that night. Well, they can feel much happier about this evening, even in defeat, because that was not a victory to celebrate. There's Chiellini, who's a great personality and will have done his bit, as much as an injured player can do, and Cáceres as well. Well, we're ready for you, say the UEFA officials. As Jeff Stelling was saying, Barcelona have only faced champions on their long road to this rostrum. Of Cyprus, Holland, France, twice PSG actually, in the group and in the knockout phase. England, Manchester City and Germany, and now they've knocked over the club which has just won a fourth Italian title in a row.
These players have got to suck up every second because they're going to Barcelona folklore with what they've achieved this season.
Well, it is a combination of coach and players. Sometimes you hear the rumbling of the players say it's always about the coach and we do all the work, but Luis Enrique had to feel his way into the job even though he knew so much about Barcelona. To get on the same page as the great individuals that compose this squad, and not just the names that you know. The backup Claudio Bravo played in 37 of 38 Liga games. Javier Mascherano still showing he can play at the back, and nobody thought he could. Rakitic, who got that first goal, seems a long time ago now. But what they wanted here, Barcelona, was a perfect send-off for Xavi. There's not much of him in terms of stature. There's so much of him as a footballer. The stature of the game. And even Messi will be happy to play second fiddle to what is going to happen when we get to the end of this lineup. If it goes according to plan. These celebrations and presentations don't always do. For Neymar, they were all told not to touch it beforehand. They could touch it now. Dani Alves, always the extrovert. Luis Suarez, my goodness, talk about highs and lows in the game. What a high for him here. And behind them, short man with a short name, the captain's armband, Xavi Hernandez. Special congratulations. The Barcelona supporters know all about this. They've been waiting for this. Xavi is about to bow out at the very top. Barcelona, in the end, Juventus put up a great fight. Irresistible, inspirational, and Champions League winners, treble winners in 2015.
Great evening for Barcelona. Another great evening for Barcelona, and well, the celebrations just underway. They were red-hot favourites, of course they were. They complete the treble of their domestic league and their domestic cup, and now the biggest of them all, the Champions League of 2015. And the Barcelona fans show no sign of leaving the stadium at the moment, nor, to their credit, do any of the Juventus fans. So that was the Champions League final of 2015. If we look ahead, though,